Hi, I'm Liz Barnett-Simmons, fitness and food coach, and today we're going to work on those tight hips. This is what I would call a lazy man series because we get to lay down. However, it's actually really beneficial because the floor is going to give us a little bit of feedback and support. So lie down on your back and just give your knees a few windshield wipers side to side. Just notice what feels tight, notice what feels a little constricted. All right, just kind of loosening up there, the hips and lower back. And then you're going to pull one knee into your chest, let's say your left leg. Give it a hug, and you can circle around the thigh bone in the hip socket a few times. I've extended my opposite right leg straight, but you can also keep the knee bent. Make sure you switch directions, and this is really going to just help kind of lubricate the joint. Next, we're going to take a half happy baby, so you might be familiar from yoga. I'm going to draw that knee toward my armpit, reach across my shin, and grab the outside of my foot. Notice I bent my opposite right leg for a little less tension there in the hips. Also notice this basically looks like a squat, right? So this is a really good warm-up if you're going to be squatting, especially if you're going to be squatting with heavy weight. Breathe into your lower back, into your abdomen, right? Feel your head, your shoulders, your hips kind of supported on the ground as you do these. Next, I'm going to take a reclined figure four or a reclined pigeon if you practice yoga. Now, you can keep your right leg in this case on the ground for support, or you can do like I'm doing and pull the knee in toward your chest. I've hooked my arms between my legs and I'm grabbing the back of my leg. If you feel like you're straining your neck here, it's really helpful to kind of place a block or a pillow underneath your head. Think about flexing your left foot, right? Really your ankle. Same thing with your right. See if you can actively press the left thigh open using the strength of your leg versus just using the strength of your left arm. Breathe into those spaces where you feel tightness and tension, and as you exhale, let any tension go. I'm basically going for 5 or so breaths in each of these movements. Now, I've set up like I'm going to do a pigeon on the other side. My right ankle's crossed against my left thigh, but I'm actually going to drop the legs down toward the right. So this is for internal rotation of the left leg more than anything else. Arms are at a T shape. Okay, you can even turn your gaze toward your left arm here, so away from where your legs are, and feel you might feel a pinch in the inside of the left hip. You might feel a stretch along the lower back. This isn't really about the spinal twist. If your hips lift up a little bit, that's okay, but essentially you're trying to keep your hips down as you do this. All right, just kind of windshield wiper side to side again. Notice if you feel any difference from that one side, and then let's switch. So draw the right knee into the chest, and I'm extending my left leg straight, but you can definitely keep that bent. Circle the leg around in the hip socket a few times, just kind of warming it up. Easy movements like this sort of tell your nervous system, like, everything's okay, I can chill out, and I can release. All right, now I'm going to bend my left knee as I prepare for the half happy baby. So I'm flexing my right ankle, my left foot's on the floor. You can even use your left hand on your thigh to help kind of support you there. You're really trying to draw your right knee toward your armpit. Feel your hips, your upper back, your head against the mat, right? And just breathe. As you breathe, feel the back side of the body kind of expand into the floor, but also side to side. And these kind of stretches are really nice because you don't really have to strain as much as you would if you were, say, sitting or standing up. Right? So now we're going to go to the figure four stretch or a reclined pigeon. You can stay in that more supportive position or pull the shape in towards you. Again, you want to make sure those ankles are flexed. So you're not sickling at your ankle joint either. I see that a lot as a compensation, and it's not great for your ankle, and you'll lose some of the intensity of the stretch. Try to keep your hips anchored down on the mat. They tend to want to really kind of lift up here, and again, you'll lose some of the integrity of the stretch when you do that. 3 to 5 deep breaths. With every exhale, you're seeing if you can kind of let go of a little bit of tension. And then we're going to switch the legs so that we're internally rotating on the right side. So I've kind of set up for an opposite side pigeon, and I'm trying to keep my right hip sort of relaxing down as opposed to lifting up. So this is internal rotation at the hip. And it's important, that our joints, especially our hips and our shoulders, which are meant to be sort of more mobile, that they can be mobile in all different directions, not just one, not just, compensating in one way. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then come back to center. And you could windshield wiper again, see how that feels different. Notice if there's any less tension there around the hips and the lower back. You can go for a full happy baby. No one's watching you, I promise. I see a lot with happy baby, people's hips lift up, that their pelvis kind of tucks under. See if you can really allow your pelvis to release down to the mat. So that's going to be really great for your lower back and your hips. And if you can't reach your feet, that's okay. You can grab the backs of your legs or maybe use a strap or a towel. Okay, notice if you're feeling any lengthening along the spine here as you do this. Again, awesome prep for squatting. And then when you feel like you've had enough, You can drop your feet to the floor and come into what's called constructive rest. So just allow your knees to kind of collapse in toward the center, or you could take something like a shavasana, your legs out all the way, and just give yourself a few more breaths here.